And Mom's in the camera.
I'm not in the camera, I'm in your hairs. Hi guys.
Hi.
Today was super crazy busy. We had a yard sale this morning. The yard sale did not do very good today, guys. But we're moving beyond the yard sale because that was overwhelming in itself. But I was just thinking about our fish tank. Something really strange happened in the fish tank today, and I want to show that to you guys and ask you what in the world that was, and I have some questions. What is that? What do you think that was? I thought that maybe it was something to do with the snails breeding, but I read that snails of this kind, they will only breed in brackish or salt water, so they won't breed when there's fresh water, which is why they're good for freshwater aquariums, because they won't overpopulate your tank because they don't breed in fresh water. So what in the world was happening to those snails? Okay, now let's move past that. My question to you guys is, we are moving in just about 2 weeks. That means we have some questions about moving. We are going to be signing the papers on this house on Friday, but we don't actually get to move into our new house until Monday. And it has only just occurred to me that that's a terrible thing for these guys because they can't be in the travel bags for more than 2 days. And it's gonna be 4 days that they need to be in the travel bags because they're gonna pick up our stuff on Thursday before we move. So we're trying to figure out how we can make it easier on these guys to move. So here's a couple of my ideas. You guys tell us which one of these ideas you think is gonna be the best way to transport them. Okay, so I was thinking that I would go to the pet store and just get the bags, like when you buy them at the store and you bring them home in a bag, and put 1 fish per bag and 1 snail per bag, and make sure and bag up all of the decorations with a little bit of the tank water so that we don't lose any of our bacteria that we've worked so hard to get. We don't want to have to recycle the tank when we get there because we realize that would be a problem. So we're not going to clean everything out and make it all sparkly clean and have it shiny and ready to go as a brand new tank when we get there, because we don't want to have to recycle the tank and put the fish through that kind of trauma again. So we're going to bag up all of like the plant and the decorations with some of the water from the tank and transport them, put them back in the tank just the way they are, and let the fish readapt in a nice, quiet, calm, dark place if possible. The question that I have is that better to put them in the bags even though they're gonna have to be there for longer? Or would it be better for us to get little fish bowls for them and transport them in a fish bowl so we could add new distilled water, which we won't have to treat because it's not tap water, every once in a while, so that they get sort of a water change as we go, so that the ammonia doesn't get too high and they don't run out of oxygen in the water. So tell us if it's better to have them in the bags or if it would be better to get them little fish bowls, because we don't want anything happening to our little fellas here. We really like our fish and we don't want anything to happen to them. So if you guys could please help us out. If you have a better idea of how we can transport them, because it have to be, again, 4 days between tank to getting the tank set back up. It's gonna be 4 days. So we need to know, how do we keep these guys alive and well long enough for us to make this move? Another question. After we transport the decorations and the rocks and the plants and everything that we have is gonna be in tank water. So we're gonna add, tell me if we're wrong, this is how I'm planning to do it. We're gonna add all of that tank water and those decorations back to the tank and then fill the tank with probably distilled water so we don't have to worry about treating it right away when we get there. We want it to be as clean and pristine for these guys as possible. And then we'll just turn the filter back on and let that continue to filter just like as if we had just done a water change at home, except it'll probably be more like 60% of the water, yeah, probably about 60%, I'm guessing, of the water will have to be changed. So is that gonna be too much? Is that gonna shock our fish? Are they gonna be okay as long as we put them in distilled water? What kind of water do we want to add back to the tank when we fill it back up? And do we want to let that water filter for a while before we add our fish back in, or are they going to be happy to go back in the tank to get out of their little entrapments that they've been in for 4 days? I really didn't think it was going to be so big of a deal to move, because I thought we were going to be able to sign the papers to sell this house and to buy the other house on the same day, which would have meant that we could have just driven there overnight, opened up the door, and gone in and set up our fish tank, because we wouldn't have needed to wait for the moving truck necessarily. We would just take the tank with us and set it up as soon as we got there. Turns out we can't do that because we won't be able to actually get into the house for 4 days, because they're gonna pack up everything here on Thursday and we won't actually be able to put it back in the house until Monday. Another thing, do we need to change the filter when we make this move? Should we throw this filter out and get a new filter when we move in and get it all set back up? If we keep the current filter and wrap it in plastic or keep it in a bag with the water, something like that, so that we can keep that bacteria, I'm afraid that it's gonna contaminate that water because maybe I should clean it first. I don't really know. You guys tell me what I should do with the filter. Do I need a new filter? Do I need to keep the filter that we have now because I don't want to interfere with everything that we've worked so hard to maintain in this tank so far to get it nice and healthy and nice and level? We want to keep it there. I'm just worried that if I change the filter and give them a new filter when we move, that we will miss something. If I do that during the moving process, I just don't know if I want to take a wet filter with me or if it's better to keep it dry until we get there and then put a new filter in and let it start to cycle itself again. I don't know which way is better to do. So tell me, what should I do with the filter? Should I keep the one that we have, or should I keep it dry and not put it in the tank until we get there and then let it have a new filter when we set up the fish tank? Am I making any sense? I kind of feel like I'm talking in circles and I'm not making any sense. You guys know what I'm talking about though, so hopefully you know more than I do about what I'm saying and you guys can follow along. You guys are really good at that. Bless you, Dad. You guys are really good at following along and keeping track of my nonsense and helping me in all these situations, and I can't be more thankful. I need to tell you guys that. I cannot be more thankful for all of my fish people and all the help that you guys have given me, because I don't know what I'm doing, and it just gets painfully obvious in times like this when I need something with my tank and I don't know what to do. So please come to my aid. Please help us out. We need to get these guys moved into our new house happy and healthy, and I know you guys care as much as I do about their welfare, so please help us. Thank you. All right, guys, before we hear from all of our fish people, what in the world is going on with the snails?
Honestly, I think that was like an antenna or like they were kissing each other.
They were kissing each other?
Oh yeah, one of them was on top of the other one.
Whoa.
I was like, they're kissing. Mia, look away. It's inappropriate.
You guys are silly. Well, hopefully somebody's got some better answers for us. And even more important than what in the world was going on with the snails is, how do we move our fish?
How do we move our fish?
Please help us.
Yes, please.
Now, a good friend of ours that has been watching the channel for a long time is going away for a long time, and we won't see him.
For a year.
We won't see him commenting on our channel. We're really, really, really gonna miss him, and we hope he has a really good time and learns some amazing lessons.
And Zoki, if you're watching right now, can you please send us a postcard? And I'm gonna send you this for a postcard. Bye, Zoki. I'll miss you a lot.
I know, it's gonna be really strange not having any of those super positive comments from Zoki.
Like,
we're very much gonna miss you, but we wish you very, very well on your journey. Have a fantastic trip, and Don't forget the postcards, right?
Yeah. Bye-bye. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to make this channel strong, share it with your friends. And now, good night, YouTube. See you tomorrow. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe now.